Hot rodding is widely thought to have originated in the late 1930s in the vast dry lake beds of Southern California. The Second World War brought the hot rodding craze to an end, as the majority of the young racers were called up for military duty. When the war ended though, soldiers returned from service with money in their pockets and the knowledge of mechanical skills gained in the military. Thousands of hot rodders and fans now flocked to the races in Southern California, and it didn't take long for hot rodding to explode into the public consciousness once again. It soon became one of the most popular fads of post-war America. The organised drag races continued to flourish for the next couple of decades, with competitions and events being held nationally, attracting huge audiences. It wasn't just in America where hot rod racing was flourishing. Britain in the 1960s saw a significant surge in the activity of American vehicles being imported into the UK. The popularity encouraged local enthusiasts to form their own hot rod and custom car clubs. In 1975, the Charnwood Cruisers were formed, with only 5 members meeting every month in Loughborough to share their love of hot rods and custom cars. 32 years later, the Charnwood Cruisers are one of Britain's oldest continuing hot rod and custom car clubs. To celebrate the Charnwood Cruisers' 32nd birthday, the crew travelled to Leicestershire to meet up with some of the dedicated members of the Cruisers to uncover the club's exciting and fast-paced history.
Yeah, basically between me and a friend we started the idea of setting up a custom car club at the time, and that started in 1975. I think it was about September of 1975. We just agreed to meet up, got word of mouth, that a time and a place, and a lot of cars turned up that night. We then agreed to make it a formal club. We then carried on, and it got more and more successful as time went on, and we really just went from there. And we were discussing what we're going to call the club, and we thought, well, Loughborough's well known for the Carillon, and they said, yeah, but the Charnwood Cruisers don't really sound very good. So yeah. we come up with Charnwood, obviously with being Charnwood Charnwood Council, and obviously that's where the name came from, and that's how it stuck. That's how it stuck.
Smock is one of the oldest members of the Charnwood Cruisers, having joined early on at the age of 16.
I got introduced through a colleague that I used to work with, and he heard that there was a club being formed. That particular Saturday evening we turned up, and we were amazed by the amount of vehicles that had already turned up, and that was basically the start of my love for custom cars and hot rods and things like that.
Charnwood Cruisers meet twice a month at the Dynavite's Cafe, located in a lay-by just outside of Loughborough.
We used to meet in a pub on a Saturday night. Obviously alcohol and hot rods don't necessarily go together, and people are busy on Saturday nights. So we tried meeting at a Saturday lunchtime as an alternative, and it's proved really successful, and the meet's been growing from strength to strength.
This is an ideal opportunity to get together to show off their cars to members of the club as well as the public. Around 30 cars park up in the lay-by as members help each other out with mechanical problems, aesthetics, and relive the glory days of UK hot rodding, whilst grabbing some classic American food. After the club meets are finished at the diner, the Charnwood Cruisers have a customary tradition of driving around Loughborough town centre.
One of the things that I thoroughly enjoy once we got to the diner bites is actually taking the cars out and on the cruise.
Yeah.
And there's one thing about going off on long cruises around the countryside. The interaction with people, the importance to me of going through the city centre and actually embracing people, waving to them, seeing their reaction is phenomenal. We seem to have got that right on the Charnwood. It's probably evolved over the years.
Well, that was one of the main things when we started the club up. That's why we're called Cruisers. Because we wanted to keep that 50s style of cruising through, the streets.
As well as the club meets, the Charnwood Cruisers regularly attend national shows and events, as well as entering drag racing competitions at raceways such as Santa Pod. The Charnwood Cruisers, having outlived the majority of hot rod clubs, are now looking to enjoy a further 30 years of success, cruising through Loughborough and attending national shows and events. With a dedicated group of members and a vast array of hot rods and cruisers, the Charnwood Cruisers are aiming to become the longest running hot rod club in Britain.